Let me tell you, I never thought I'd be the guy fighting an all-out war with a homeowners association, much less over a pool I designed myself, but here we are. Funny how the American dream has a way of flipping the script on you, right? I mean, one minute you're sketching out your own sanctuary on a hillside, the next, you're staring down a pack of suburban commandos in pastel golf shirts trying to annex your private pool. Yeah, that happened, so let me back up a sec. When I first stood out on that property line watching the sun go down over the California hills, I felt like I'd finally made it. I'm an architect by trade, so I know something about boundaries, literal and otherwise. This wasn't just another project for me. This was the home I'd been dreaming about for 20 years. 3 acres of peace, quiet, and geometry, no HOA, no pastel houses, no community mailbox clusters. Just the sound of wind, the shine of concrete and glass, and a pool at the edge that looked like it poured right into the horizon. Everything about this place was built for independence. Solar biometric gates, motion lights, cameras, the works. My neighbors thought it was a little much. The locals from Vista Hills HOA, they thought it was suspicious. First sign of trouble came in a fancy envelope about a week after we moved in Vista Hills HOA letterhead. Bold serif font. Welcome to Vista Hills community meeting invitation. I just laughed. Right. I was outside their boundaries, had the county plat and deed to prove it. Figured it was a clerical mistake. Big organizations love to claim things that aren't theirs. Sent them a polite email. Not in your HOA, thanks. Here's my paperwork. Take me off your list. Didn't think twice. 3 days later, thicker envelope shows up, official seal notice stamped across the top. This one wasn't just a welcome letter, it was a declaration. They'd incorporated my property into their HOA by paperwork, just like that. My wife joked, "You build a fortress and they still think they own it." I started to get that itch in my gut, the kind you get when people with clipboards and small smiles start redrawing lines that don't belong to them. Then came the phone call. Karen Gilmore, president of the Vista Hills HOA, voice like candy corn dipped in acid. She said, "Mr. Madison, so thrilled to have you in our wonderful community. I hope you'll bring your property into alignment with our standards soon." I told her as politely as I could muster, my land's not in your community. County records are clear. She goes, "Oh, the plat maps have been updated. We'll go over it at the meeting." Hung up before I could argue. The way she said it, you could tell she believed the paperwork more than the land itself. Next morning, Karen herself showed up at my gate, white Lexus sunglasses folder, hugged like state secrets. The board voted unanimously to integrate your property for our Phase 3 amenity expansion, she says. Nothing invasive, just access to the pool scheduled for 8 to 8 HOA staff on site. We've already printed signage Vista Hills Pool Pavilion. I nearly choked my pool with a name I didn't pick now on their brochure. Let me be clear. I told her, no one's getting in that pool but my family. She smiled the way people do right before they call the police. The bylaws are very specific, Mr. Madison. After she left, I got the compliance packet pages of legalese maps, annotated diagrams, and a demand for my gate code installation of an HOA managed pedestrian gate and a $5,000 monthly non-compliance penalty. I called my lawyer, sent a cease and desist, attached every deed plat and survey I had. A couple days later, final warning arrives talking about forced integration and administrative escalation. I poured a drink and stared at the pool I'd built, every inch paid for by me, now being claimed by people who'd never lifted a shovel. Then came the work crew, unmarked truck, neon vests, clipboards. They pried open the back fence, started dragging in chain link and post-hole augers like they were county officials. I stormed down, called the cops. Officer Darrell Davis arrived all friendly but shrugged and said, "Looks like a civil issue. You got cameras, right? Let your lawyer handle it." The crew left, but not before snapping a few photos like they were cataloging their next prize. That's when I discovered the real bombshell. The zoning maps had been amended digitally just weeks before. My parcel now marked as recreational integration boundary with a mysterious resolution that didn't exist on any public record. A county clerk told me the database entry was flagged confidential, edited by someone internal. That's when it clicked. This wasn't just HOA overreach. This was a strategy. They weren't just after my pool, they wanted legal ownership, starting on paper, then in practice. Time to fight back. I called Lana Trigger, a real estate attorney known for dismantling HOA legal teams with surgical efficiency. She flipped through the footage, letters, fake notices, and said, "They're building a paper trail for presumptive community access. It's fraud, but we need proof." Enter Thomas Bachman, my go-to geodetic engineer. He found the smoking gun, a forged community integration addendum filed with the county recorder, complete with a scanned version of my signature and a phony notary seal. Lana moved fast. Emergency affidavit, county injunction, civil suit for fraud, malicious interference, and trespass. But Karen wasn't done. That's when Ted, a neighbor I'd never met, showed up with a glossy HOA brochure. There, in full color, was my pool deck and home labeled Infinity Pool, with scenic views available to all Vista Hills residents 2024. She was already advertising access, selling it before anyone challenged her. So I hit back, letters to every neighbor attaching my deed, making it clear trespass on my land and I'll prosecute. Some folks apologized, some demanded answers from the HOA and Karen. She doubled down, mass emailing the community about a transitional phase and temporary ambiguity. That night I caught an HOA goon on camera, walking the perimeter, snapping pictures, casing the place like he was planning a heist. Next day I filed a formal complaint document forgery request for a records audit, every bit of digital evidence submitted to the county. Then Cliff, the ex-contractor neighbor, texted, "Weekend big party, your place." Turns out Karen was handing out passes, telling folks it was a soft opening for the Vista Pool Pavilion, said I'd be out of town. She wasn't just bold, she was criminally stupid. So yeah, I played along, left for Monterey, but set up surveillance drones, backup cameras, everything. Watched live as the HOA crowd broke in. Kids in my pool, people grilling on my deck. Karen collecting cash from the crowd. Called the sheriff, got the same runaround civil dispute owner not present. Watched a guy steal my drone on camera. I sent every clip to Lana labeled damages and said, "Time to go nuclear. Time to go." Monday morning, we filed a monster civil suit, trespass, property damage, commercial use of private facilities, wire fraud, forgery, the works. By noon, Channel 7 was outside my house with cameras. Drone footage, party selfies, clips of Karen taking cash, all over the local news. Suddenly, the sheriff's department was interested. Sergeant Linda Grant called, "We're opening an investigation into criminal trespass and theft." Karen's response: a cease and desist letter demanding I retract my defamation, pay her emotional damages. My lawyer laughed herself hoarse. Court issued a restraining order. No HOA members allowed on my property. Karen naturally went nuclear herself, held a press conference accusing me of being a squatter, waving doctored maps, ranting about harmonization. But the truth was out. Her own treasurer, Charles Denner, got arrested for forging county records. Another board member resigned, the rest blamed Karen. The final twist: dumpster behind the HOA office, caught on drone cam, board members dumping boxes of shredded documents. Felony obstruction. The DA opened a criminal case. Subpoenas, frozen accounts, and suddenly Karen's empire crumbled. On the day of reckoning, Karen showed up at my driveway, tried to reason with me. "You made your point, Randall. You don't have to do this." But I told her straight she built her power on lies and paperwork, and now she was losing everything. In the end, the judge didn't mince words. This court has no patience for property fraud under the guise of civic duty. Karen was convicted on multiple counts: fraud, trespass, obstruction, and taken away in cuffs. A few weeks later, the Vista Hills HOA was dissolved, board members paid restitution, and my settlement soared past $2 million. But that wasn't what mattered. I rebuilt the fence, 12 feet of concrete and steel etched private across the gate. transform the pool pavilion into a monument looping the footage of Karen's meltdown. This pool belongs to the HOA, not some guy who just bought the land. Below it, welcome to the pool that cost the HOA their existence. People still come by to look, laugh, or shake their heads. Some former HOA folks send me angry emails. I just keep the gates locked and the cameras rolling. Because in the end, it's not about revenge, it's about memory. About drawing a line nobody dares erase again. So let me ask you, who do you think was right here? The guy who built his dream or the folks who tried to steal it with a smile and a stamp? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your own stories of justice or insanity. And hey, don't forget to hit subscribe if you think memory matters more than paperwork.